Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show from my Second on Spirit home studio. Nice to have you with us on this Monday morning, a brand new week, a brand new month. Wow, July 1st already. July 1st. No, August 1st. Even more timely. I don't know. It's just time flies. Anyway, later on this morning during the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to a couple of economic professors from Saginaw Valley State University. What is a recession? Are we in one? Or will we be in one? That will be the topic of discussion after the 10 o'clock news. At 11 o'clock this morning on Focus, we're going to talk to Jason Money. Got a new restaurant coming called Dick's Last Resort, and we'll chat with him about that. And I wonder if it's affiliated with the one in Chicago, Dick's. We were there many years ago. They throw things at you. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, we'll find out more about that later on this morning. But for this hour, we have open phones. A number of things to talk about. But one of them, sometimes, timing is everything, right? I get this email from a listener by the name of Jim. And I'll read you the email first. Art, I haven't heard it addressed this way, but I feel that the hatred between the Democrats and the Republicans has escalated to a point of being equivalent to racism. The numerous acts of violence toward people based solely on their support of a political party or of certain candidates. People have been attacked, their homes and property damaged or destroyed simply because they've displayed support for one party or another. I know what is going on isn't news to you. I listen to your program every morning. Thank you, Jim. But I do think this would be a hot topic. I'd love to know how other people view it, if the same, or if they ever thought about it in this way. Many people would start to question their own actions and attitudes if a similar stigma was attached to such behavior as is attached to racism. Just a thought. Signed, Jim. So Jim sends me this email, and I said, I'm going to look at that. And as I begin to put my stack of stuff together for today, what's on top of the pile, but of all things, a headline. And the headline is, U.S. faces new era of political violence as threats against lawmakers rise. And by the way, it's not one-sided. It's coming from both sides. And apparently members of Congress now have been given $10,000, up to $10,000 to upgrade security in their homes. And there have been acts of violence, again, both ways. Is it the rhetoric? Is it social media? What's changed that all of a sudden violence becomes an acceptable form of expressing your displeasure with someone you disagree with? Is it a form of racism? Well, if we look at the political parties as entities and you dislike someone simply because they're a member of a party, is that any different than disliking someone because of their background or the color of their skin or anything else? No, maybe it is a form of racism. But how do we tone the rhetoric down? I don't know the answer to that. Next week, I have the privilege, and it is indeed a privilege, and it only happens because of all of you out there, of being inducted into the Michigan Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and I have to give a little address. And it's going to be a very brief address. I don't like giving big speeches. But in the end, toward the end of my speech, I do say, at this time in our history, radio, the most stable of the legacy media formats, can be an instrument of division or a voice of reason. I personally choose the latter. And I don't know the answer to the climate we live in today, the political climate. I really don't. It's been coming for a long time. It's nothing new. But social media has certainly accelerated it and done so anonymously. I mean, you can get on there and say anything you want. Doesn't make any difference. Nobody knows who you are. I don't know the answer. I only bring it up as a topic. And we go from there. All right, so we begin this morning. And let's see here. We'll begin with Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning. Your turn after that speech.
Yeah, well, this isn't the reason I called, but I guess I got to call you on this. You said the violence is coming from both sides.
It is.
Please, Art, give me 3 examples where Republicans burned a building down, have surrounded a justice's home, or violently shot a cop.
Well, let's see here. Just hang on a minute. Let's see. That was a Democrat attacking Lee Zeldin. 2 weeks before that, a man was arrested outside the home of Pramila Jayapal, chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, for shouting racist obscenities and threatening to kill her. That was not a Democrat. That was a Republican.
How do we know they're
Let me see here. Last month, how do we know they're all Democrats? Last month, authorities filed federal charges against a man who they say traveled from California to Maryland. He was intent on murdering the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. You can come to your own conclusions. I mean, you look at the target and you decide who's attacking. That's what you're doing when you say Democrats.
Well, Art, I'm not saying that there's not Republicans who might not go out and do something that's crazy. But as we're looking at the current climate, we're seeing mobs of Democrats. Mobs. You might see an individual idiot who identifies as Republican do something, but we're seeing mobs of Democrats doing this. Yeah. They're encircling homes, they're encircling towns.
I'm not denying that, Scott. And I'll tell you what, I have no desire to be a politician, but there are times I wish I was sitting on a committee and could ask a question of a guest. And I'll give you a prime example of that. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, was questioned, and his answer was, well, no man is above the law, talking about Trump and possible charges and things of that nature. I would have immediately said to him, well, if no man is above the law, then why didn't you arrest all the protesters outside the home of Justice Kavanaugh who were violating federal law?
Because that's what democracy looks like to the left.
Well, yeah, but that's what it looks to people in power. And
that's what this
you rule. Listen,
said. She said this.
Yeah, you rule with power, Scott. If you don't win, you don't have the power. If you win, you have the power.
Well, the press secretary, when asked about this, she said, this is what democracy looks like. So to the left, it's okay until it comes to their door.
I don't have a lot of use for her anyway. That's beside the point.
No.
But the reality is that in America today, violence has become way too commonplace. And I do not know the answer because you cannot. How do you control social media, which generates a lot of it? And I don't know the answer to that. Don't know the anscer. All right. Hey, I got to take a break.
I'll make this
real quick. Go ahead. Real quick.
All right, I'll make this quick. That little 10-year-old girl, the one that the president was toting had to go across state lines. She was raped by her mother's 27-year-old boyfriend. The reason the mother took the little girl across state lines is because she wanted to lie and keep the boyfriend living in the home. That's what's going on. So the president wants to tote a girl being have an abortion. Tell the story, Democrats. Quit keeping your people ignorant.
Good enough, Scott.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye now. All right, Bill, hang on. We'll get to you in Hemlock. Just wait till we get this break done, and then we'll be back. Give you plenty of time.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay-Ingalls Landing. Black rock the music of AC/DC on August 11th. Then, Terry Lee Goffey performs the world's greatest Johnny Cash experience on August 25th. All shows are outside in the parking lot on the south side of Worth Road and include $10 free play for adults. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
The economy is heading for a total disaster. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hyperinflation. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text Safeguard to 989898. There's no obligation or purchase required. Again, that's Safeguard to 989898.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Cohle McShane. This is the Fox.
Chinese manufacturing's recovery from COVID lockdowns faltered in July as activity sank. According to data from the National Statistics Agency, the China Federation of Logistics and Purchasing, the industry group found factory activity was depressed by weak global demand and antivirus controls were weighing on domestic consumer spending. On Wall Street, investors waiting for a spate of quarterly financial results due out this week from companies like Airbnb, Starbucks, CVS Health, and DoorDash. The CEO and president of Carnival Corp, the parent company of several cruise lines, Arnold Donald, is slated to nearly a decade leading the cruise giant. He'll be succeeded by Josh Weinstein, who previously served as the company's chief operations officer. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
The economy is heading for a total disaster. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hyperinflation. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text SHELTER to 98. Obligation or purchase required. Again, that's SHELTER to 989898.
When Gretchen Whitmer used tax dollars for hush money to cover up nursing home deaths and $11 billion unemployment fraud, Annette Glenn pushed a bill banning tax finance gag orders on state employees. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-1251, 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Line drive, base hit into right field. Then to score comes Robbie Grossman. Jonathan Scope will be held at third. Riley Green with an RBI double.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, the Art Lewis Show, for this Monday. Open phones this hour. Bill is in Hemlock. And Bill, thanks for waiting. We appreciate it.
Hello, I got one for Scott here about a Republican family. The Brand is.
I'll say it again. I missed part. You cut out for a second.
Brant.
Say it again.
Do you know where the little town of Brant is?
Yes.
Okay, as you're going into Brant, there's this big sign. It takes almost the whole side of the house. And on the sign it says, I'm not going to say the whole word, it says F. Biden. And it's been up there for about 3 months. I went by there with my 8-year-old grandson, and he said, hey, look at that sign.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those. I've seen them around.
He said the whole word. He said,
yep, all right. We got it.
That's not. And if some of the people out in Brant, and I voted for Trump, but if some of the people out in Brant get together and ask that guy to take the sign down, because these kids see it. Now kids talk like that. When I was a kid, when I was growing up, if you said that word, you'd get beat up.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't have to because it comes under political speech. But that's, there's good speech and bad speech. And it's just the way it is today, unfortunately. It's just a symptom. Nothing, there's no restrictions, it seems.
But one guy I was talking to said some night he's going to go and tear it down. I said, well, you better watch it. You might get shot.
You might get arrested, too. That's illegal, too.
Right. But what? I mean, it's right as you're driving into town.
This doesn't matter.
The kids can see it.
It doesn't matter. I understand that. And I'm with you. I think it's dead wrong. But the fact is, it's legal. Well, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, but the family was a
doesn't matter.
I know, but
none of it matters.
There's people talking. Do stuff. So this family may get hurt. So they better watch what they're doing.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good enough, Bill.
Bye.
Mark is in Glenny. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, there's a lot of times when you and I talk, you say people vote with their pocketbooks.
Yep.
And I want to challenge you on the people vote with the pocketbooks. I think it's more of a policy, and people vote on the reaction of the policy that is given out. And that, I think, holds true for the Republican side and the Democrat side.
Yeah, it's not,
as opposed to voting with your wallet.
But
the Supreme Court,
there's been study after study after study that shows that people vote with their pocketbook first and foremost. Now, they may vote for policies that affect their pocketbook, but the pocketbook is the driving force.
I think it's just one of the spokes in the wheel. I think it's more of a policy-driven.
More like the hub.
Supreme Court changes.
It's more like the hub.
When Supreme Court changes something they don't like, people, you say vote, and that's a reaction.
There is
when people
that,
don't,
but that's not the major reason.
A reaction as opposed to their pocketbook?
No. The people, listen, here, listen, Mark. There are going to be people in this upcoming election who will vote strictly on the abortion issue, pro-life, pro-choice. No two ways about that. They are not the majority. They are not the majority. The majority of people will come out and vote their pocketbook.
But
history shows us that.
But under a good economy, when policy makes it so that we're not in a crisis situation, I think the policy that is written under a good economy, people vote by the policy.
All right, now listen to this.
Policies, when you take 85 executive orders,
administration,
that's bad policy, and I think people are going to vote against.
You're forgetting something, because you said something right up front which challenges your own statement. You said in a good economy. Well, in a good economy, people are still voting their pocketbook because they're enjoying everything. So they can take the leisure of just voting for policy or something else because they don't have to vote on their pocketbook. And in a way, they do vote their pocketbook because if they're having a good time and if the pocketbook is singing pretty good songs, they're going to keep in power the people that are in power. So good times and bad, the pocketbook still rules.
Well, agree to disagree, but I still say,
we can disagree, but I've got all the studies on my side.
Well, I still say people vote on reaction on somebody's policy.
Some do, but not the
I just
majority.
don't see how, if you didn't have policy, you don't have the funds to do
Well,
stuff, right?
it's, you now you're getting into semantics, because if I vote my pocketbook, if I'm unhappy, am I not voting to change the policy that made me unhappy?
That is a true statement. Yeah.
Okay, so there
If
you
your
are. But it's
policies
my
are fine, then
pocketbook.
what are you voting for?
It's my pocketbook that drove me.
You didn't know it's well. Okay, you could say that, but I'm still saying it's the policy that got you there.
Well, but it's semantics. I hear you.
Fair enough.
All right, Mark. Have a good one. Bye now. Let's talk to JJ in Ithaca. JJ, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, tomorrow we're to be voting, I think, for a very important thing here in Michigan. Who's going to be in November, and I just wondered if maybe you could go over some of the profiles of those 5 that are going to be running.
The 5 running on the Republican side for governor. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yes.
I might be able. I might be able to do that. I have to tell you this though. If I do that, and I know it is what you want, so you won't argue with this. I have to do all 5 because we're inside the window of the election. One of the reasons I should explain this to everybody. One of the reasons we don't have the candidates on now is because we're in a window before the election where if we have one, we have to have them all. And time simply prohibits that, But I will endeavor to try and get some at least basic information about the candidates out there.
Right.
And then it will not necessarily measure up what the commercials are saying. Because the commercials could be.
That would give, I think, people maybe a better idea, maybe of narrowing it down who to vote for tomorrow.
I'll mark it down and see if I can find a few minutes to do that.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
you.
JJ. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening.
Sure. Thank you. Okay,
Bye-bye now.
bye-bye.
And let's talk to Al in Midland. Al, good morning.
Morning, Arthur. Hey, back to this the fighting and the squabbling and all this nastiness. We've had folks that have been in high political office, for example, and they've told their supporters to go out and tip tables over and do violence and do things. And these are people that are in elected office, that are in high office.
Yep.
And there's nothing coming from the White House or nothing come from the Attorney General that says don't.
Yeah.
None of the other Democrats up in the high office are saying to stop it. So to me, that says it's okay for them to do that. On the other side, you don't hear the Republicans inciting this kind of violence to go out and protest outside of the Supreme Court justices. The Republicans don't say that to go outside of the Democrat-supported people.
Yeah, well, the Republicans, the Democrats have a committee trying to point that very thing out about Donald Trump, saying that he did that. You can all judge it for yourselves.
Yeah.
But, that's what they're doing.
I know, but that's only the one person. And
well, yeah, but that's the person with the biggest megaphone, isn't it?
I know, but we've had more Democrats on the Democrat side doing the same thing, and nobody stopped them.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The Maxine Waters of the world. I fully understand that.
To the knife fight, was it Maxine Waters said to go in and shout and disrupt things and tip tables over and cause all kinds of bring protesters with you and cause all kinds of disturbances. That upsets the business owner that's trying to make a living there. That is not helpful.
It's a lack of understanding how democracy really is supposed to work too.
I know, but that's a place for them to do their protests. If they want to stand out on the street corner and hold a sign, that's no problem.
All right. I'm up against.
This thing about the sign, though, that's ridiculous too. I mean, people have a right to put something out on their outlawn or on the side of their house if they have a voice to say that somebody's doing a bad job. They have that right.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I said.
That's free speech. We have that right.
Yep.
Thank you, Arthur.
All
Have
right,
a nice
take
morning,
care.
sir.
Bye-bye now. All right, Earl and Joe, hang on. We'll get to you guys when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
I'm retired Army Colonel Martin Blank, and I'm a Republican running for the state Senate. I'm not a politician, I'm a soldier. And I'm running for the state Senate because Lansing career politicians are failing. Average families can't afford groceries. Gas is heading towards $6 a gallon, and many of our neighbors are struggling to pay their mortgages or rent. The economy no longer works for people like us, and Lansing career politicians are doing nothing about it. It's time for a change, to go in a new direction. We've had enough of Lansing career politicians and their broken promises. It's time to put state government back on your side. I'm proud of my military service. The 23 years I spent serving you and protecting your interests. And as your state senator, I'll protect your interests once again. This is Martin Blank, Republican candidate for state Senate. Your vote on August 2nd. Thanks for listening.
Paid for by Martin Blank for state Senate.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone plan deals usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless and get our Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot data for just $45 a month. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G for only $149. G Networks. Unlimited data, less money, no brainer. Straight Talk Wireless. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. A month equals 30 days. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials? Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking Seminar for Sunday, August 7th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Saginaw, 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. To register, go to markpatrickseminars.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. The ones who get it done.
Attention golfers, the WSGW Invitational is coming soon, presented by Westside Decorating Center and powered by Brandon's Jewelry. To win your foursome entry into the WSGW Invitational, you must participate in a closest to the pin contest presented by Sarah Automotive of Saginaw. The final contest is Tuesday, August 2nd at Twin Oaks Golf Club in Freeland. Stop by between 6:30 and 9 a.m., take 3 swings at the pin. At the end of the morning team show, wins the foursome. Plus, you'll have the chance to win the $10,000 hole-in-one contest presented by Buck Insurance.
from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, and Errol is in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. What are you doing?
Good. I got a question for you to start with. If you used the F word at home, what would happen when you were growing up?
It would not be pretty.
Mine either. I would be gumming my food. Okay, let's start with there. If you walk by a kid's playground from maybe grade 2 on up, kids start at school, and the first word you hear out of their mouth is the F word. They're with calling their parents by their first name. I don't know why they want to do that. You're supposed to be a parent, not a buddy. I didn't care whether my kids liked me when I told them, no, you can't do that, or do something else. And I expected them to treat adults with some respect. I think they've earned it by just tolerating you around the house. And so that it is not getting any better. God forbid you disagree with someone on their political they talk about politically, but no one is good-natured anymore. That's what they get for eating vegetables all the time. If God wanted you to eat vegetables, He made you a rabbit. So.
Well, that's one way to look at it, I guess.
Well, you got to have a sense of humor, or you'd go nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone I know knows how I feel about Trump, but that's as far as I'm.
Yep.
My
All right.
own reasons. Talk to you later, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Joe is in Bay City. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. How are you doing today?
We're doing well, thanks.
Well, that's good. Hey, I got 3 quick things for you, if you don't mind. First off, I think you're a little bit off base on the people who vote for pocketbook, because if that were the case, and I believe it usually is the case, but if that were the case all the time, Trump should have won easily and not lost at all. And
well, listen, let me tackle that one. There's obviously exceptions to every rule, and
well, in
was
this
the case.
exception, I've got to tell you, my personal feeling is there's 2 reasons why he lost.
Oh, I think it's
One,
more than that.
We have a country. Well, but 2 main reasons. We have a country full of ninnies, and for those who don't know what a ninny is, look it up in the dictionary. 2, there must have been either that or major fraud. One of the 2, and I believe it's probably mostly we have a bunch of ninnies. And
well, if that's what you call people that disagree with you, then I guess that's what it is.
Oh no, I don't call people disagree with me.
Well, you just did.
No. People disagree with me if they're talking facts. No, I don't call them any names at all. Now, if they're talking out of their rear ends, then they might be a ninny.
Well, does that mean if they don't agree with you, they're talking out of their rear ends?
No, you're not listening.
Well, I am listening, because you're saying that you're saying that Trump lost because of a group of ninnies. So you're saying everybody that voted against Trump had no idea what they were doing.
Okay, I'll go along with that one.
Well,
sure. Our country is becoming dumber by the year.
Well, I'm not talking. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just cautioning you that if you're going to talk about people calling names and then you call names, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's see. Okay. That's the first one. Second one, I remember I talked to you about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and asked you about our governor. And you said it was too early to tell me whether she was doing a good job or not. So I'm calling you on it now. And could you give me 1 or 2 reasons why I should vote for her?
No, I can't.
That she's done something for our state?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
You're honest.
Say that again.
All right. I say you're an honest man.
Yeah,
you're an honest man.
She's not my favorite. She's not my favorite person, but that's me. That's my personal opinion.
All right. Well, that's because you're not a ninny.
There you go again. All right.
There I go. Okay. One
real quick, because I'm running behind time.
Scott's call, I have to say that he's more right than wrong in what he was talking about. And, there's just some.
All right.
The liberals doing things that the Republicans don't even think about doing. So I'm giving Scott some pretty good leeway on that. He's more right than wrong, in my opinion.
All right.
So that's it.
Good enough. Have a good one.
Okay, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye
Yeah,
now.
you too.
And we will be back after these notes.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote Republican. You can trust Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals. I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
Why can't Michigan students be the best educated in the world? Why can't the state that put the world on wheels have the best roads? Why can't Michigan be the manufacturing capital of the United States? I believe we can. My name is Tim Kelly, and as state representative, I cut through Lansing regulations every day. Now I'm running for state senate, and I'm primed to get our state back on track. Michigan has been held back by Lansing's red tape for far too long. Let's give Michigan a chance again. Paid for by Tim Kelly.
Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs lost, families moving away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Gas prices and inflation skyrocketing. Tudor Dixon will stand strong against policies that hurt Michigan and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person. You should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll about monkeypox. So recently, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a global public health emergency. Documented globally. In the U.S., about 2,800 cases confirmed or suspected, and most cases concentrated within the gay community. But the WHO and the CDC say anyone can catch it. It can be transferred by contact of any body fluids, open sores, contaminated items, even through respiratory droplets, usually in a confined space.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you?
Concerned? 10. But is it yeah.
So a poll question right now. What's your response to monkeypox? Are you very concerned and would get vaccinated if you had the chance? Are you not too concerned, but you're keeping updated in the news? Are you aware of it, but you're not paying attention? Or is it not on your radar? Voting in the WSW online poll, going to the WSW homepage, scrolling down and finding the online poll box.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
that is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Let's grab another call here. Bill is in Cass City. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I have a question, and if it's too touchy for the radio, fine, let me know. But I've often wondered, we have two top politicians, one is a president and the other one's the Speaker of the House, that claim to be a certain religion that is not for abortion, but yet they go out here and they support this and they go on and on and on. And then when somebody stands up to and says, well, you're not going to get communion, you're not going to get things, then it kind of gets brushed under the table. How does this happen? Because I'm a practicing Catholic, and I've never seen anything like it. It's you can't sit on a fence post.
Well, who brushed it under the table? You found out about it in the media because the media reported on it.
Absolutely. But yet, when I go to my local churches and ask this same question and try to be at least a little bit respectful with it.
They don't want any part of it.
No, they don't want to touch it.
Yeah. That's,
in fact, I was told by one local pastor that this is a separation of church and state. I said, wait a minute. That's kind of ducking the question.
Well, in a way, he's right. But here's how I look at it. And I'll use Nancy Pelosi as an example because this was the most flagrant violation of this tenet. She was asked when leaving a press conference, maybe a year or so ago, why she hates Donald Trump, to which she turned and jumped down the throat of the questioner saying, I don't hate anyone. I'm a good Catholic. I was taught never to hate. If I were that reporter, I would have instantly said, well, then how can you support abortion? Instantly. But they didn't. And she turned and walked off in a huff. She wasn't going to answer anyway. But to me, that pointed out the whole fallacy of religion and politics. If you're going to use your religion as a political tool, then you better abide by it. Otherwise, leave it out of the discussion, because I do believe in the separation of church and state. And I do believe that we all have the right to practice our religion as we see fit. But when you're in a powerful position in the public eye, be careful what you say and what you claim.
Well, it's like in our family years ago, there was a situation like this, and abortion came up as an option. And like I told the person in our family, it's killing. It don't matter how you do it. It's killing. Now, your decision. I don't take my personal opinion of it. You do what you got to do. But when you do it, make sure you're ready to live with it. And these people don't seem to want to own it.
Yeah. All right.
And,
good enough. Bill, I got to run.
Right, thanks,
Take
Art.
care. Bye-bye now. And our last caller is going to be Susan in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Hey, Art, haven't talked to you for a while. I just came across it more than once. It was a website called The American Thinker, and it was a really good speech and article, and then I got it in a Christian newsletter to look it up, and it was called I Was Wrong About Trump. And it was it was on Trump's virtues and how we need him so bad. And it was a religious person that was giving his mind when he really looked at the world as it is. And so many people, he said, everyone will say, well, I like what Trump has done, but I don't like the man. And he said, this is how I felt. And so many people feel that way. And it was the American
I'm one
Thinker.
of those. I'm one of those, as you know.
Yeah, but if you know what, and I have said that myself because of some of the things he said, but he said, well, it's because of his honesty. It's having Trump in the White House, that's a virtue when you're honest. He said Maxine Waters had a low IQ. He said she does, but nobody would say it, but he does. And that was one of the things. Well, look, and so I just want the people to actually try to look that up. It was on YouTube too.
Okay.
YouTube also. Thanks, Art.
Thanks,
Have a good
Susan.
day.
You bet. Bye-bye. All right. I just have a minute or two left here, and I want to address JJ's question earlier about the candidates, and I have to do this rather quickly, so I'm going to run through it real quick. The Republican candidates, I'm not going to go over the Democrat. There's only one. She's the governor. Tudor Dixon, she worked as a sales executive in her family's steel industry business before emerging as a conservative media personality and news anchor on America's Voice News, a streaming outlet, which I'm not familiar with, but that's what she did. Ryan Kelly is a former Allendale Township Planning Commissioner He gained notoriety in 2020 when he protested the removal of a Confederate statue in his hometown and organized a large anti-Whitmer protest at the Michigan Capitol, resulting in armed demonstrators entering the building. You might remember that. Ralph Rebrandt is a longtime pastor at Oakland Hills Community Church in Farmington Hills and a chaplain for the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. I'm not sure if he's still on the ballot or not. And there are a number of these I'm not going to go over because they're not on the ballot anymore. Kevin Rinke is a Bloomfield Township businessman who helped lead his family's auto dealership group, and he has promised to put $10 million of his own money into the campaign. Garrett Saldano is a Kalamazoo area chiropractor who built a large online following as he protested Whitmer's COVID-19 crackdown and subsequent restrictions, co-founded a group called Stand Up Michigan. Some other candidates have been knocked off the ballot by the courts because of their petition drives for signatures, but those are the main. And I know that's just real superficial, but I thought I'd at least touch on it for her. We'll get our last break in before we have to close down this hour.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your air. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
For over 20 years, you have known Sunrise Awnings as the home of the shady deal. Living in Michigan, we are always looking for ways to spend more time outdoors, especially now. Sunrise Awnings provides homeowners that opportunity to expand their living space with Sunsetter or Summer Space Awnings. Enjoy family and friends, protected from the sun, rain, awnings today to take advantage of that outdoor lifestyle you enjoy. Check us out at sunriseawnings.net. Get the most out of your patio and deck with a retractable awning from Sunrise Awnings.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central. Control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to talk about whether or not we're in a recession with a couple of Saginaw Valley professors coming up right after the news, which is next here on WSGW. Talk to you then.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The death toll has just gone up in massive floods in eastern Kentucky. Governor Andy Beshear.
We have lost 30 Kentuckians to this flooding, and that's going to grow.
Dozens of people are still unaccounted for. More from correspondent Jim Crisula.
Authorities continue to find bodies after last week's historic flooding in eastern Kentucky. Amanda Smith lives in the small, devastated town of McRoberts.
There's abandoned mines all around us, so these mines are overflowing with water.
Eastern Kentucky will see more rain this week.
Thousands have no power. A quickly spreading wildfire has become the largest in California this year. It's burned more than 80 square miles near the Oregon border. Captain Parker Wilborn with the Sacramento Metro.
The fire is ballooning out of control. We're going to start seeing significant lightning strikes
different weather patterns, different wind shifts.
They're turning up ACs across the border. Meteorologist Craig Allen with our affiliate, WCBS.
The heat that has been plaguing the Northwest states is moving into the central portion of the nation now and is going to be spreading eastward through the course of this week. And yet another heat wave is expected for many areas.
First in Ukraine since the war began. A shipment of grain left the country today. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
This is a Sierra Leone flagged cargo ship with 26,000 tons of corn. It left Odessa for Lebanon. It will stop first in Turkey for inspection before making its way onward. Other ships are expected to depart through safe corridors soon.
Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is benched after settling 24 lawsuits alleging sexual harassment and assault during massage appointments. Saber.
Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson has been suspended for 6 games, and there will be no fine. That's the ruling by former federal judge Sue Robinson. If the NFL appeals this decision, it goes to the commissioner, Roger Goodell.
There is a new claim of discrimination against a child, this time by a pizza chain mascot. WCBS TV's Jessica Moore.
A video is circulating on Twitter by a mom who says her daughter was racially discriminated against. Restaurant. Someone dressed as the Chuck E. Cheese mascot was seen giving kids high fives. The woman claims the white kids were acknowledged while her daughter, who is black, was ignored.
A family in Baltimore is suing Sesame Place in Pennsylvania over alleged racial discrimination by a life-sized Rosita Muppet. The Dow is down 50 points. S&P off 6. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and max speed with Indeed. Their hire helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system, trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of... Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Climate skies is 75 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Perchup. The public servant has passed away at the age of 93. John Bud Gilmore Jr. was born September 24th, 1928 in Saginaw and graduated from Saginaw High School in 1946. He went on to work as a milk delivery driver for Gilmore Dairy. He married his wife, Shirley Bean, in 1948, who died in 2008. He was formerly employed as the Bridgeport Township Clerk, Bridgeport Township Supervisor, Buena Vista Township Manager, and retired in the Bridgeport Township manager. Bud was a charter member of the Bridgeport Lions Club and Historical Society. He also served as a member of the Bridgeport Fire Department, Saginaw County Fair Board of Directors, and several other organizations. Funeral services are tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the W.L. Case and Company Funeral Chapel at 5700 Dixie Highway. Friends are welcome to visit with family at the funeral home today from 2 to 8 p.m. and tomorrow at 10 a.m. Northwood University is partnering with Folds of Honor and Rooney to provide 2 full-ride tuition scholarships to students who choose to continue their education at Northwood. This new partnership means Northwood University is accepting a $5,000 annual award per student from the Folds of Honor organization. To make the opportunity available to more Folds of Honor recipients, Northwood seeks the help of donors to help cover the cost of tuition and fees. Donors can help by providing an annual $20,000, a legacy investment of $500,000 for an endowed scholarship to support service members in perpetuity, or a donation of any size online at northwood.edu/give. For more information, call 989-837-4279 or email Justin Marshall at marshall@northwood.edu. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
We understand it's not often you decide to invest in new flooring or window treatments, but when you do, you deserve to take your time and take a colors available while sharing your ideas with someone who can help you with your decisions. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth, and that's what we've been doing for 16 years. We've been helping people make great decisions on new window treatments, paint, carpeting, and flooring, and with our own expert design team, we can turn your home into a showplace. Right now at Warden Interiors, we're making room for all the new merchandise, so you'll find unbelievable prices on carpet, vinyl, and laminate floors. Also, you can brighten up any room with one of the new ceramic paint, the toughest and most durable paint available, or choose the elegance of new Hunter Douglas window treatments to enrich your home. We have it all, so come in and take your time. Let's sit down and talk about it. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Recovery of some vulnerable species through restoration efforts has made comebacks more difficult for others in peril. Once endangered animals, including the iconic bald eagle, sometimes jeopardize rarer species such as the great cormorant by eating them or outcompeting them for food and living space. Similar circumstances have turned up elsewhere, challenging wildlife experts who want balanced, healthy environment. Conflicts have involved revived U.S. species such as gray seals, birds of prey, and even turkeys. Wildlife managers around the country are working on creative solutions to the unanticipated consequences of species salvation. The number of primary voters casting ballots for governor is expected to reach pre-pandemic levels on Election Day tomorrow. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is expecting that number to be between 2 and 2.5 million ballots to be cast during the primary. Western Michigan University Political Science Chair John Clark says there are a lot of unknowns.
Generally speaking, the folks that vote in primaries are either people who hold really strong partisan views or who tend to be more liberal on the Democratic side or more conservative on the Republican side. And so it's not a great representation of the whole electorate.
Lines are new in some districts because of redistricting. Gas prices continue to be on the downswing in Michigan after peaking more than $5 per gallon. Prices have dropped every day for more than a month straight. Currently, a gallon of gas will cost an average of $4.24. The perplexing part of the equation is how drastically prices seem to vary from corner to corner. Prices in Michigan have seen the fourth largest drop of any state over the last month, dropping by 76 cents in that time. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the mid-80s. We'll have winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 30. And then for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers early on. Partly cloudy skies develop below near 60. 81 degrees. Then by Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies with a high around 94. Thursday, chance for showers and storms, cloudy, high of 83 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 76.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio on this Monday morning. And if you've been following the news at all, you know there is a bit of a debate as to what constitutes a recession. There is the old standard definition of 2 negative quarters in growth, but we seem to have some discussion going on as to whether or not it really is a recession. Well, we thought we'd continue that debate this morning. Only talked to a couple of folks who know more about it than I do. They are both professors, economic professors at Saginaw Valley State University. And first, we say good morning to Dr. Micah DelVecchio. Dr. DelVecchio, good morning.
Morning, Art. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Very good. And also with us, Dr. Zachary Cohle. Dr. Cohle, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thank you again for having us.
No problem. All right. So you heard my opening. I've always thought recession was defined by 2 negative quarters of growth, and that seems to be what the old standard was. But today we seem to be fudging a little on that standard. Let's go to each of you one at a time. How do you define a recession?
I'll go ahead. But yeah, the old rule of thumb is the 2 consecutive negative quarters of growth rule. Yeah, so we call that a rule of thumb. It only focuses on that one data point, which is growth, and we've had that. We've had our tops in economic growth. They've been small, but negative, and it's likely that this most recent one it's basically a first draft, and they're going to come out with 2 more. It's likely to look worse as they work towards the final draft of last quarter's growth, and yeah, so that does not look good. However, yeah, we've moved on. We've got a committee, and it's called the Business Cycle Dating Committee. They look for called NBER. They try to take a broader look at other data points other than growth and employment. And yeah, when you bring in employment and you look at the unemployment rate right now in the U.S., we're sitting at 3.6%. So they're having a really hard time calling it a recession.
Yeah, but I have to ask a question about that because I knew we were going to get to that right away. They are touting all of these jobs that have been created. Is that reality, or are these replacement jobs for jobs that were lost pre-pandemic? I mean, from what I've read, we still have not recovered to the labor level that we were pre-pandemic. So is it fair to use these jobs as growth? Because they're not really growth, are they?
Well, yeah, the low unemployment rate itself is not growth. And I think you bring up a really good point there because pre-pandemic, I'm trying to look at my figures here, but we did have a higher level of what we call labor force participation, where out of our total population, there was a higher percent of people who were either working, looking for work. The pandemic hit. I'm trying to remember the exact figure, but it's in the millions of individuals who chose not to engage in the labor market. A lot of these individuals, when we look at the demographics, were people who unretired. They retired and then they went back and took on some part-time work that kept them busy and brought in some secondary income. Those folks, appear to not have come back. And then we also see lower participation rates among the 16 to 19-year-old, that had been dropping steadily for some time. And so, yeah, that's a fair point. There are these different levels of unemployment, measures of unemployment rates that we have to try and include those factors, and those rates are low also. So, but it is a fair point. One of the reasons I think right now it is so easy to get a job is because there's a group missing from our labor force that hasn't fully come back yet.
And let's also talk about how prices and inflation impact all of this, because I've also heard it said that, well, we're not totally in a recession yet, we're kind of pre-recession. And it would seem to me, if the Fed keeps raising rates and prices keep going up and government keeps spending, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, inflation is a concern, and when I look at those numbers this month, but the June figure.
Your phone is cutting out on us. Your phone is kind of staccato.
Oh,
so you can get a better position.
Sure, sounds good. Let me see. Yeah, so better.
Yeah, not much.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Zach might be able to talk about inflation. I do have some things to say about it, though.
Yeah, let's get Zach in, and then we'll come back to you.
Sure.
Zach?
Yeah. All right. I think you're making great points. I just want to say that recessions are, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. There is the economist way, which is, we can talk about GDP, we can talk about growth, we can talk about employment, all of these things. But I think to most of us, recession just means, okay, is the economy healthy? And my face. So if you look by that very loose definition, I think then we are in this recession zone. And part of the reason is that inflation is just making it a lot harder for people to live their day-to-day life. And inflation, like the amount that we've seen, it's weird. There's no other way of putting it.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what the economy is doing at this time. And I think that's part of the problem, that a lot of economists we've never seen anything like this before.
I think I'd like to rename it. When I go to the store, if I have, let's say I make $10 and up until that time, I could spend $4 on my absolute needs and have $6 left for other stuff. Now, if I go to the store and I have $10, I have to spend $8 on my needs and I only have $2 left over. I don't call it recession. I call it regression. Maybe we should rename it.
It's as if like there's an increase in a tax, like we're just losing a lot of our money. And I don't like that. Like, I want to keep my money. The news is, well, yesterday you had $10, but we're seeing a trend, and that's raising wages. So tomorrow you actually have $11.
Well, let's look at that. All right, so
let's
look at that.
Sure.
I had $10 today, and I was spending $4 and had $6 left over. Tomorrow I'm making $11, but I'm spending $8. Now I only have $3 left over. Yeah, my wages went up, but inflation overate my increase.
Oh, Art, if you could come in and guest speak in my classes, that would be fantastic.
Love to.
You hit something, right? You've hit something that we would call like real wages. So it's not that you're being paid, $10 versus $11. It's how much can you actually spend with that 10, and how much do you actually spend with that 11? So wages are going up, but they're not actually going up faster than inflation. So we're making more money, but it's as if we're actually making less money because prices are just going up so much faster.
Yeah, don't we all know it? All right, hang on, guys. Dr. Micah DelVecchio and Dr. Zachary Cohle, our guests from Saginaw Valley State University. They teach economy, talking about recession. What is it? is it? We'll find out when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join the Mark Patrick Weight Loss and Stop Smoking seminars for only $49.99, Sunday, August 7th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Saginaw. To register and for more details, go to markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputation. Call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Markets are kicking off the month in the red following that rally Friday, which helped push July to Wall Street's best month all year. Among the top gainers is Boeing, which cleared a hurdle for its 787 deliveries. PepsiCo is buying a stake in energy drinks firm Celsius Holdings. It's an 8.5% stake for about $550 million. Valvoline products business to Saudi's Aramco in a $2.65 payment. The move would separate Valvoline Global Products from its retail services businesses and transform it into a purely automotive service provider. The company operates and franchises around 1,700 service centers with stores across the U.S. The 150-year-old company noting the deal would help it accelerate focus on servicing electric vehicles. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
The economy is heading for a total disaster. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hype. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text SHELTER to 989898. There's no obligation or purchase required. Again, that's SHELTER to 989898.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
The economy. The Fed must choose between a stock market and housing market crash or hyperinflation. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your retirement savings into physical gold today. To help you get started, my friends at Birch Gold have created a free information kit on gold IRAs. To get your free copy, just text SAFEGUARD to 989898. There's no obligation or purchase required. Again, that's SAFEGUARD to 989898.
Here at the tropical vibes abound. We use soft, fresh tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
For the 15th consecutive season, your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
Donovan Edwards throwing deep down the sideline. He's got a receiver wide open. The trick play. It's a house call for Michigan.
The defending Big Ten to prove that last year was only the beginning of a new era of championship caliber football in Ann Arbor.
Andrew Anthony, East Lansing native. Touchdown, Michigan. He's heading down the sideline. Did he get in the end zone? Touchdown, Michigan. Eric Hall on a crossing route. Back to McNamara. Throwing deep. He's got Johnson in the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
The season kicks off against the Colorado State Rams at the Big House, Saturday, September 3rd. Game day coverage at 11 a.m. with kickoff at noon on 790 News Radio WSGW. The history, the tradition, the memories.
Wolverine Nation. Ohio State is vanquished.
On WSGW.
Line drive, base hit into right field. Then to score comes Robbie Grossman. Jonathan Scope will be held at third. Riley Green with an RBI double.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We're talking to Drs. Zachary Cohle and Dr. Micah DelVecchio from Saginaw Valley State University about recessions and what they are. Let's talk about the Fed for a minute. They have raised rates, large raises a couple of times now, 75 basis points, which is pretty unusual. How far can they go before they actually shut down the economy? Dr. Cohle?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think probably what they have already done will edge us closer to a recession, if not put us in a recession, while also, or I mean, more into a recession, more that one economist can actually agree on, more of a typical. But I would say that the Fed needs to control inflation, so I think they'll continue going as far as they can to keep inflation down, regardless of the effect that it's going to necessarily have on our economic growth.
Let me ask, maybe this is a historical question, but for a long time, I mean, they did nothing in terms of rate increases. We went through a long period of time where there was zero growth in rate increases, and you saw that in your savings account because there was zero interest paid practically. Did they wait too long to address this?
Yes, I would say yes. But it goes back to what I was saying in terms of weird. There's no other way to describe it. The textbook strategy would be to wait. It's that we have supply issues. The inflation should have been going down by itself. The problem is you have to throw the textbook out. It's just we've never seen an economy like this, and they waited way too long. I don't necessarily fault them for it, but hindsight is 20/20, and certainly if they had acted way sooner, we wouldn't be seeing this level of inflation. We also might not even be seeing a recession.
The other side of this coin, too, that gets talked about once in a while is government spending. How much of an impact has that had on us?
Government spending. So it has an impact for sure. I wouldn't necessarily say it has the largest impact. Supply problems and the war going on in Ukraine currently have had more of an impact in terms of the inflation and the overall stunting growth. But you can't discount the fact that, well, there's tons of government spending that has happened over the last 2 years, and that is going to cause in terms of demand of money, demand of goods, and that's going to help cause inflation as well. It's, as I've said, unbelievably weird situation, and it's hard to point at a factor and say, well, that has caused 50% of this inflation, because honestly, we don't quite know.
Yeah. Micah?
Yeah, I think Dr. Cohle hit the nail on the head there a couple times. Weird situation for us to be in. And then he also mentioned about the sources of inflation. We do have these supply issues. They tend to be localized. Gas is obviously a point where prices are rising because of supply issues. Computer chips are an issue. And but the other thing Dr. Cohle mentioned was that the Federal Reserve, to raise interest rates, they've pumped trillions of dollars into the economy since COVID. And it should be expected. Larry Summers is an economist, former dean of Harvard, and he noted that you could have predicted this. With the amount of money that's being pumped into the economy, in the long run, people have more money to spend. People are borrowing more in homes, driving up those prices. Not only are people buying homes, but we have large investment corporations coming in and buying homes to turn them into rental properties and driving up the prices on homes. It's good if you're a homeowner, but if you're trying to buy a home, that makes it more difficult. And yeah, they should have acted sooner. It in my opinion, was fairly predictable. Now, what are they going to do now? They're really playing by ear, but they still seem to be confident that inflation will go. And it's not certain. July, we're going to get some data coming in that will paint an optimistic picture. But then in August, October, inflation tends to be a long run issue. And we see it getting embedded in these price rises, are being embedded into things that aren't gas and aren't computer chips. Day-to-day needs such as food, house, price increases are likely to continue. And they're hoping that they don't have to raise rates anymore. The rates, they're still low historically. We're up here. Their key interest rate is as as high as it has been since the lowest point of the mid 2000s. So we haven't even raised it to the rates that we had in the 90s, for instance, when the economy was doing very well. I think the Federal Reserve, they have a lot. Give them confidence that they could keep rates low and keep this money out there. They basically pay large banks to hang on to the money. Large banks, the Federal Reserve can throw this money out there, and large banks, they can lend it, but then if the Fed wants them to hold on to it, the Fed will pay them interest rates on the money in their reserves to entice them to not lend it out and keep it. When they don't lend it out, that can prevent inflation. So they're very, very confident that these new tools they have, basically paying banks to hang on to money, will stop and slow down spending and slow down inflation. But I think there's some wild cards out there. Whenever you see innovations in the financial market, the Fed seems slow to adjust. Regulators seem slow to adjust. We saw that in the 2008-2009 recession, where we had all these fancy investment instruments called mortgage-backed securities. And those caused the crash. They didn't really doing. And you see stuff now that I think are innovations, and they basically, these innovations have spread the wealth out, for better or worse. Your everyday investor, Joe Schmo, doesn't have to be a big bank. He can engage in the type of investment that it does. You can go on, we have these things, Robinhood is a platform that we have now, investments in cryptocurrencies, even just your TD Ameritrades. Those are all these kind of everyday, Joe and Jane type of investments that the Fed has no control over. They're not going to stop people from pumping money into those and driving up the prices of those assets. And I don't know if they've really figured that out yet. I don't know.
All right, guys, hang on. I got to take a quick break here, and we'll be back. We're talking to Dr. Zachary Cohle and Dr. Micah DelVecchio from Saginaw Valley State University as we talk about recession. Are we in one or not?
And now, bedtime. If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works in sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay Eagles Landing. See Back in Black rock the music of AC/DC on August 11th. Then Terry Lee Goffey performs the world's greatest Johnny Cash experience on August 25th. All shows are outside in the parking lot on the south side of Worth Road and play for adults. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saguenay-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungeredInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Witness Louie Loon achieve baseball immortality August 12th with our first ever Louie Loon Bobble Belly. Presented by My Michigan Health. The first 1,000 fans through the gate receive a Louie Loon Bobble Belly doing his signature funky feather. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at 989-837-BALL or loons.com. 989-837-BALL or loons.com. Belia history with the Louie Loon Bobble Belly, August 12th. Dive in! It's Loons baseball time!
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill G. Schuette joined the fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust, Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals,
I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
All right, we're back with our guests, Dr. Zachary Cohle and Dr. Micah DelVecchio. They are both professors of economics at Saginaw Valley State University, talking about what is a recession. Are we in one? And another question, guys. With all the spending that's gone on in the past couple of years, have we had to crank up the printing press? And how does the money supply play into all of this? Zachary?
Yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
So actually, I'll let Micah take lead on this one.
All right, Micah.
Sure. Yeah. They have. They've cranked up that printing press quite a bit. The amount is in the trillions of dollars that have entered into the financial system over the last couple of years, several trillions of dollars. And the way they do that is by buying bonds. So your typical savings bonds, we all are familiar with those. There is a little bit of a concert there with the federal government. So our central bank is a separate entity from the to work together. And the federal government has taken on quite a bit of debt. Right? They've taken on over $1 trillion in debt, I think around $2 trillion in debt over the last couple of years. And they do that by selling a bond. So the federal government will sell a bond. Now they owe money. And then what happens is somebody in the private sector can buy it, or the Federal Reserve can then buy that bond. So the federal government sells a bond. They have money to spend. Then the central bank buys the bond into the banking system. So it's kind of coming from two areas. We do have those two factors coming into play in driving inflation. The printing presses have been revved up. They're starting to slow down, but I agree with Dr. Cohle. The pace should have slowed down last summer, and it did not. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen here.
All right, guys, in these last few minutes, we're going to look at the Cohle and DelVecchio crystal balls. They're laughing already. So we'll start with you, Zachary. If you look in your crystal ball, do you see us in a full-blown recession now or in the near future?
If we are not in one now, I feel as if it is almost unavoidable that we will not be one in the near future.
Say that again. We will not be in one, or we will be in one?
I'm sorry. I think it would be unavoidable. I think. Let me rephrase this. It is very likely that we'll end up in a recession in the future if we are not already in one now.
Micah?
And unfortunately, I think that it. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah, I think that that's going to cause a lot of hardship for the people of Michigan in particular, because I don't think our state is very recession resistant.
Ooh, we'll come back to that. Micah, what's in your crystal ball?
Yeah, if we are in a recession right now, it's very mild. And what's going to happen next year? It is very hard to predict. Technically speaking, recessions occur from random shocks, but we're right on the edge there. So, something could happen if there's a bad hurricane season that came through and wiped out some of our oil processing facilities in the Gulf. That would definitely put us into a recession. Something good, well, economically speaking, I suppose politically possibly too could happen. And for instance, let's say Vladimir Putin, he's been having health troubles. Let's say he passes away and then the peace ensues in that area. That would be beneficial to the economy. I think the one thing that you can kind of base a prediction on is what the Federal Reserve is doing. And, basing that prediction on the assumption that they've made a mistake early on, and they're going to have to raise interest rates into next year, and that there may be still financial bubbles out there. I think the the larger markets, the more traditional markets you see in the S&P, so traditional stocks, those have. But I think in these non-traditional areas, I mentioned cryptocurrency, that has collapsed quite a bit. It's hard to tell what's going to happen with that, but it could collapse even further. And if these financial markets are in a bubble, housing markets could be in a bubble too, then that could precipitate a spiral. When we talk about recessions, there are two types. There's a demand side recession. What we see there in the demand side recession are layoffs. And then because people are laid off, they have less money to spend. So then they spend less, and then businesses receive less money in revenue. So then they have further layoffs. It spirals on that demand side. We're not quite seeing that right now. But what we do see is kind of supply side recession, where we see prices going up, costs of production increasing, and if that enters into the employment sector, then we could have everything spiraling. And it's really right now kind of sitting on a knife edge, and we're hoping that we can make it through okay. But one thing here or there could really send us spiraling off into a deep recession next year.
All right, guys, hang on. I'm going to hold you over for one more segment here. I want to come back to Michigan because I found that an interesting comment. We will be back with our guests after these notes.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the hay.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Take the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Invitational Golf Outing is Tuesday, August 16th at the Sawmill Golf Club. It's presented by Westside Decorating and powered by Branham's Jewelry. Over $5,000 in prizes to be given away. You for entry to play today. Only $60 per golfer. To sign up, visit WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and find the Winvitational Golf box. Click to find the entry link. The Winvitational Golf Outing at the Sawmill, Tuesday, August 16th. Sign up to play today at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with our guests from Saginaw Valley State University, Drs. Micah DelVecchio and Dr. Zachary Cohle, talking about the economy. Zachary, you mentioned something about Michigan not being in a great position during all of this. Why?
I am an optimist, I want to say, but Michigan in particular, our economy is very heavily based in manufacturing. We do chemical manufacturing, auto manufacturing. There's just so much that we make, which normally is a good thing, but during a recession, that doesn't really provide itself to these well-insulated industries. That is to say, people stop buying cars when they lose their job. They might put that purchase off for a few years. And since we sell cars, we are going to unfortunately not sell as many cars in the next coming months as the recession could possibly get worse or as inflation starts eating people's budget.
Well, also the cost of money to buy that car has gone up.
Absolutely. It's a double whammy. We have less money, less income overall. Some people might be losing their jobs, and cars are just going to be more expensive, and they could even become more expensive as computer chips become harder and harder to get.
Let's one of the things we hear from Washington, they have this agreement now on this Build Back Better plan for $470 billion or whatever the exact number is. And the president has been quoted as saying, this will lessen inflation. Is that really possible?
I am skeptical of that claim. It could lessen, maybe not inflation, it might actually speed inflation up, but I think the impact of inflation on the average citizen who is going to be interacting with the money that is coming out that early.
It all goes back to us, doesn't it? I mean, in the bottom, in the end all is that it all goes back to us, because unless government prints it, it doesn't have any money other than the money we give it.
Yeah, in this sense, yeah, money is kind of an illusion. But I think the government has a lot of, they do a lot of beneficial things in that sense. So it's easy to become very pessimistic when looking at like the economy in a large. But overall, try to stay optimistic on that sense.
Yeah. There's no doubt government, we have a need for government. It certainly has, served our needs over the many, many, many years it's been around, for 200 and some odd years now. We have to take some responsibility for it ourselves, don't we? Because we want, on the one hand, we want our one hand out with its palm up for government to grease our palm, and the other hand, a tight fist in our pocket, not willing to take out any money to pay for it. They don't go together, do they?
They do not. But in a lot of ways, even as an economist, I think a lot of those decisions are beyond me. We have elected officials, and I try and trust in them doing the right thing. I think the Fed is filled with competent people. I think the government in general is filled with really competent people. So I think for me, there's definitely, I want, the benefits, but I don't want to pay this much in taxes. That's all fine for me. But I have a general trust that the system will work out. And even though I'm resistant to giving up my money, that everything just kind of will be okay. And that the decisions are rather beyond me and beyond my feelings.
All right, guys, let me leave each of you a minute to tell us what you think is going to happen. Zachary, we'll start with you.
I think the recession will get worse, but I am hopeful that it will be relatively mild, and then we can get back on track to, historic growth that we've seen in the past few years. I do think that Michigan will have some hard times ahead, especially for small businesses. But again, I'm optimistic that Michigan is filled with great people and great businesses. And just like we rebounded from the pandemic, I believe that we can rebound from any recession and build back even stronger.
Micah?
Yeah, in the beginning of the year, I think it was easier to predict where things are going. Right now, it's becoming very difficult. I think the housing market will continue to balance or rebalance going into next year with some slowing of the demand for housing. We mentioned the demand for products coming from Michigan, like automobiles. A lot of that comes from financing. So as these interest rates increase, and I think we can be fairly certain that interest rates will continue to increase throughout this year. And next, it depends upon what happens.
Yeah.
There's a feedback there where if we do start to go into recession, then the Federal Reserve will be more tolerant of inflation. and they'll stop raising interest rates. So if bad things happen, then interest rates will stay low. So where we're headed out, 6 months from now, it's really hard to say. But I think we can be certain interest rates will increase, and inflation will be a problem for the rest of the year.
Zachary, Micah, listen, I want to thank both of you for spending this hour with us. We'll have to do this again down the road and see how things are going. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Art. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us today. Doctors Zachary Cohle and Dr. Micah DelVecchio from Saginaw Valley State University. Let me ask how your sleep was last night. We're asked to do more for less these days. So when you go to bed, spend a third of your life there, you really need quality sleep. And you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1 hour window delivery of your mattress to your home, or a 1 hour delivery window. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality. But did you know they also offer rust proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust proofing and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-9000.
Tudor Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs lost, families moving away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Gas prices and inflation skyrocketing. Tudor Dixon will stand strong against policies that hurt Michigan and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails, you're a grinding halt. Regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done. With 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, that'll do it. I thank the guests again from Saginaw Valley State University. We're going to move on now to Focus, and we'll focus on a new restaurant, Dick's Last Resort, coming to Thomas Township. More ahead on that after the news from CBS coming up, the National and International Report. We'll have the local report for you. Ann Williams will tell you what's happening in the state and the region. And then we'll be back with Focus. Stick around and we'll talk to you after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Zoom.
I'm Steve Kathan. A tragic situation could get even worse in flooded eastern Kentucky.
There is severe storm potential today in all of the impacted areas. That is just not right.
Governor Andy Beshear, who this morning put the death toll from last 30, with more victims likely to be discovered. Tyler Culver lives in an area that's been hard hit.
You can replace homes and vehicles, but you can't replace people. You're used to seeing it on TV and other places, and you never think it's going to come here and come home to us, but it has.
And CBS's Jim Crisula tells us,
don't even think about looting. That's what lawmen are saying in flood-devastated areas of Appalachia.
If you're trying to take advantage of people in this situation, we're going to find you, we're going to hunt you down, we're going to lock you up and put you in jail. And the criminal justice system and our prosecutors will not have mercy on anyone taking advantage of people.
Joe Engel is sheriff of hard-hit Perry County, Kentucky, where several people have been arrested.
Fire in Northern California that broke out Friday is now considered the state's largest. It has some people assessing damage. Althea Schwander lost everything when her home went up in flames.
My house is gone, all my furniture, all my clothes, shoes, coats, boots. Everything's gone.
The Biden administration's making more than $1 billion in grants available to states to deal with flooding and extreme heat caused by climate change. Overseas, agricultural shipments have resumed from Ukraine. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
It's the first ship since the Russian invasion carrying corn heading for Turkey and then Lebanon, which has been hard hit by the grain shortage. The Sierra Leone cargo ship departed Odessa. Agreements were signed allowing for 22 million tons of agricultural goods to flow. They've been stuck at Black Sea ports.
One of the NFL's most exciting quarterbacks will be sidelined.
Deshaun Watson, magical 34 yards.
Deshaun Watson suspended for 6 games after a retired judge ruled he violated the league's personal conduct policy. Watson, now with the Cleveland Browns, has faced sexual misconduct civil suits from 24 women. All but one has been settled. This morning, President Biden continued to test positive for COVID-19. CBS's Major Garrett.
The president says he's feeling fine. His physician says he's experiencing no symptoms. But as everyone knows at this stage of COVID, every positive test is disruptive, and the president's schedule has been disrupted.
Wall Street, as we begin the week right now, the Dow is up 68 points. NASDAQ is ahead 62. Is up 9. This is CBS News.
500,000 businesses connect using Zoom for communication and collaboration around the globe. Zoom, how the world connects.
And now, bedtime. If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to help you sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Finding great candidates, though. Well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 75 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha.
The all clear from his doctor after testing positive for COVID-19, President Joe Biden has again tested positive the second time in 2 weeks. He's canceled a planned trip to the Saginaw area because of the diagnosis. The president was scheduled to visit Hemlock Semiconductor tomorrow following the passage of the CHIPS Act. It isn't clear if the trip will be rescheduled. Police in Genesee County are requesting help locating an SUV involved in a hit and run on Torrey Road Saturday night that left one person dead. The victim, a 24-year-old man, was walking northbound on Torrey around the 5000 block when he was struck by an older model silver or gray SUV, possibly in a Chevy S10 Blazer. The vehicle then fled the scene northbound on Torrey Road. The police say it's likely that it has damage on the front passenger side and may have a broken passenger side headlight. Anyone with information is asked to contact Metro Police Authority of Genesee County. Starting this Thursday, the kicks off with Main Street Glow, a hot air balloon basket spectacle along Main Street. From 7 to 8:30 p.m., the balloon baskets will fire up their burners, providing shoppers and diners a unique view of downtown. Residents can see the baskets up close and personal and speak with the balloonists. On Friday, River Days After Party turns Main Street into a giant dance floor at the McDonald Street intersection. That event takes place from 9 to 11 p.m. Live music is provided by Stone Street Revival, and several businesses will offer outdoor beverages in the Commons. All ages are welcome, and both events are free and open to the public. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay Eagles Landing. See Back in Black rock the music of AC/DC on August 11th. Then, Terry Lee Goffey performs the world's greatest Johnny Cash experience on August 25th. All shows are outside in the parking lot and include $10 free play for adults. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saguenay-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
WSGW News Time coming up on 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. 2 bicyclists have died in western Michigan after an SUV driven by a suspected drunk driver struck a group of riders. They were on an endurance ride Saturday for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The vehicle crossed the center line in Ionia County and hit the bicyclists on a rural road. The sheriff's department says 3 more cyclists were severely injured. All 5 were male. The driver remains in the county jail awaiting a court hearing. No names have been released at this time. Prices for food and rent are soaring, and gas prices are higher than a year ago. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates to the highest level. The U.S. economy has shrunk for 2 straight quarters. Economists are divided over whether a recession is looming. Michigan State University economics professor Charles Ballard does not think we're in a recession, but suggests you might want to think about the future and save money when possible.
Check the numbers regularly. Look for bargains. Don't just put everything on autopilot. And maybe put some money away, thinking that things might be not as good 6 months from now as they are right now.
Ballard says that if we do go into a recession, they usually last a year or less. There's a new effort to simplify how Michiganders pay for public transit. 2 state agencies are coming together to get ideas for how to process for public transit. They're calling it the Mobility Wallet Challenge. The Michigan Department of Transportation and the Office of Future Mobility and Electrification are hosting 2 information sessions looking for applicants, vendors, mobility partners, and organizations to come forward with ideas for the project. They say the program's goal will be to simplify the transit payment process by allowing riders or third-party stakeholders to load funds and or connect bank accounts to a single platform. A Michigan professor who was suspended in January for making a profanity-filled video to welcome students settled his legal dispute with a university by agreeing to accept $95,000. Barry Miller has also agreed to a 3-year gag order and retirement. If he criticizes Ferris State University, he could be forced to pay $60,000. Miller taught history at Ferris State for decades. He made the headlines when the school placed him on paid leave in response to a provocative 14-minute video. He used profanities and He rambled on about his attendance policy, grades, plagiarism, and COVID-19. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the mid-80s. We'll have winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 30. And then for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers early on. Partly cloudy skies develop below near 60. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 81 degrees. Then by Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies with a high around 94. Thursday, chance for showers and storms, cloudy, high of 83 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 75.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's, and Ben is going to be on Focus, I think, this Friday. So you get to hear more about RoofMax. Today, we're going to talk about a new restaurant coming to Thomas Township in the Shields area, and its owner is with us this morning. We say good morning to Jason Money. Jason, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
We're doing well. Your restaurant is called Dick's Last Resort. Is that right?
That's correct. Dick's Last Resort.
I have to ask because many years ago in Chicago, we were in a place by that name. Are they related?
They are absolutely related. There's about 10 locations, and by the end of the year, we should be up to close to 14, maybe even 15 locations.
Is it going to be as brutal as it was in Chicago? Am I going to get bread and things thrown at me?
You get some napkins thrown at you. It is designed to be a comedy show, so you get a little live experience with your food, and it's sarcastic servers that have as much fun as you put out. So if you're entertaining, they will be super entertaining.
It was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. So much so that I remember it, and it was from a long time ago. So where's it going to be located?
On is it 82? Of course, you asked me that question, and I don't have that note in front of me.
On Gratiot. Is it the former? Is it the location? Yeah. There was a restaurant there at one time.
Yeah, it was a former Shooters before, which was sort of a knockoff of a Dave and Buster's.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I know where it is then. As a matter of fact, I thought I saw construction going on there. Is there construction going on?
Oh, absolutely. We're still in the build-out process. And
on the south side of Gratiot. Yep.
On August 8th.
When do you plan to open?
August 8th.
August.
Just a few days away.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Have you hired staff?
Yeah, we had a great turnout for our job fair, and we have a great staff lined up. We also bring in several people from out of state to help with the openings and the trainings, and to ensure that everything goes perfectly or as good as it can for a grand opening.
So you teach these people to be sarcastic, is that right?
Most people are born with that personality that do that job. Sarcastic people are just sarcastic people. So what we teach them to do is be a fun server in the process.
Let's talk.
That just comes with them.
Comes with the territory, huh? Talk about the food.
Right.
What type of fare is it? What's the food?
It's a little bit of a Cajun sort of theme to the food. We have chili dogs, we have crab, we have different kinds of seafood, we have delicious steaks, fantastic hamburgers, all with just a little bit of seasoning and spice in there to give it a lot of tasty flavors.
And you're planning on opening August 8th. Are you going to be open every day of the week?
Starting out, we're just going with 5 days a week. We'll be doing a Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay. So you're going to open on the 8th, which is a Monday, but that'll be the last Monday you're open, huh?
Yeah, it'll be the last Monday for a little while. Kick the tires day for the grand opening, and then you really get down to business on. The thing that we have going on at the Dick's Last Resort is we're a restaurant until about 11 o'clock. And then after 11 p.m., it turns into Cat's Meow, which is another karaoke bar that we're involved with down in Louisiana on Bourbon Street. So the Cat's Meow concept comes into play and get karaoke. So you go from the sarcastic bartenders and servers entertainment during the restaurant hours, and then in the later evening hours, you get live karaoke, which is done in a very unique style. Not just your regular karaoke guy picking one song after another, but we bring in a MC host that really creates action entertainment, and then bringing the crowd up there one at a time to sing really brings home karaoke to a new, more advanced style. So exciting stuff.
All right, Jason, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Jason Money. He's the owner of Dick's Last Resort, coming to the Shields area next Monday.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me, makes me cry.
Join the Mark Patrick weight loss seminars for only $49.99. Sunday, August 7th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Saginaw, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. To register, go to markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google? Don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands. Process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY. ACY.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option, Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We're talking to Jason Roney. He's the owner of Dick's Last Resort, coming to the Shields area next Monday. Jason, I have to ask, for your openings, are you going to take reservations, or is it first come, first serve?
First come, first serve.
So get in line.
We're always first come, first serve.
Well, if it's anything like I remember it, it's, I mean, when you leave, you don't forget the place. You do not forget the place. You know, it was just, it was a great experience. And we're talking a long time ago. I mean, probably 30 years ago, but it was just a great experience. It was fun.
That's the idea. The idea is to give you something memorable, something to talk about, and make sure you have a good time and serve you some good food and some good drinks while we're doing it.
What's the history of it? Do you know the history of Dick's Last Resort?
Yeah, it's actually a guy named Dick that started, and he sold out. He was involved out of Texas, and then he sold out a while ago. And another group took it and they tried to go international with it. And they just kind of grew too fast and too big. So then for a period of time, the bankers operated it, and the banks really operate based around dollars and cents as opposed to quality and emotion. And that's what we have changed now that we're involved, is creating more of a quality and a value to the food, a quality and a value to the drinks, and a fantastic emotion when you leave. You know, we want you to have a good time. We want you to leave laugh. Tell your friends about it.
Yeah. So let me ask, when you took it over, how many Dick's Last Resorts were there?
There was 12 actually. There was a downsize during the pandemic. That's when we lost the one that was in Chicago, Minneapolis, Boston, Maryland.
So the Chicago one closed, huh?
It did. Yeah, it did. We're working on possibly a new location in Chicago as we speak, but hasn't found one yet. Mostly we've been busy in Florida and Panhandle and the Gulf Coast there.
So you still plan to continue expansion then?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the goal, is to create more of these restaurants because they're fun. And I think it's a niche people really enjoy. You know, it takes the neighborhood bar where you're recognized and you know the bartender and they give you a hard time when you come in. And, you know, it just gives you that whole good, warm, fuzzy feeling when you go into the place. And then put some better quality food in there. And, you know, you have what we're doing at Dick's Last Resort, you know. Except for right out of the gate, we're going to give you a hard time.
Yeah, that's very nice of you. Very kind of you. But you know what? If you're giving me good food to go with it, I don't care. That's absolutely part of the secret, isn't it?
It is absolutely part of the secret. You know, the food quality is what's going to bring you back. And that's, you know, that was one of the mistakes that the previous operators had, is they just didn't understand that you can't cheapen the value of the food. You've got to make sure that people are getting what they expect and that it tastes good, and that's what they're going to enjoy and come back to.
So next Monday is your opening. What time do you intend on opening?
I believe we're opening at 4 p.m.
Be there online because there's no reservations.
Be there online because there's no reservations, or come on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll be open from that day forward. And the first weekend we won't have the Cat's Meow going. That'll be the second weekend. So weekend number 2, when you come in on Friday and Saturday, you can sing some karaoke after you're done with your dinner.
Is there a website, Jason, where people can see more about Dick's Last Resort?
Yep, DicksLastResort.com.
All right.
You can also look us up on Instagram, all the other social media. We have Cats Meow, Saginaw, and Dick's Last Resort, Saginaw.
Very good. Well, listen, Jason, we'll be there. Looking forward to it.
We're excited to host you there, and I'll make a reservation for you.
For 4, please.
You got it.
We have friends we go out with all the time. We'll be doing it for sure. So we will.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. You're going to be there Monday?
Unfortunately, I can't be there on Monday, but I'll be there on the weekend.
Okay. Good enough. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Teammate Joe will be there
Great.
Monday, and Dave. So I'll get you introduced to Joe and Dave. You'll like those guys. They're a lot of fun.
All right. Well, Jason, thanks for being with us this morning. We'll look forward to Dick's Last Resort coming next Monday to Shields. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have
Talk
a
to you
good
then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, we'll take our last break. We'll be back to close out and find out what's happening in the markets.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles.